And we're live. Yay.
Yay. Brilliant.
Good evening, everybody. Sorry about the delay. We've been having major technical issues. Seems to be a thing about StreamYard at the moment. I couldn't get the sound and picture on, which not too bad, really, in all fairness. And Stephen had the same issue. So just welcome then to Paranormal Peeps with Stephen Daly.
How you doing, all right?
Yeah, cool. Just wonder how you're doing after all that messing about, but yeah, we're on, aren't we, finally?
Technical glitches.
Yeah, I think with Facebook and everything, it's tending to happen more. But it's just what it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I haven't even seen any comments through yet, so I know people are watching. So hello, everybody. So where did the paranormal journey start from you? Did you see something from a young age, or was it later on?
Paranormal journey started later in life. I was always a strange child that was interested in the paranormal, but it kind of originated with stories my granddad used to tell me. Him and his brother used to go on holiday to the Isle of Man, and they used to tell me about this guy they used to see every time they went. And he just seemed to go from one wall to the other. So it was I don't know whether he was trying to scare me, but it was always seemed to be as if he was telling the truth. So it was, I don't know, that's actually kind of got me interested in ghosts, listening to his stories. And then then obviously the Most Wanted kind of stuff came on the TV and you thought it was great, and you know, it wasn't really, but you thought at the time it's like, oh, this is amazing. And then it just went for there.
Yeah, that's it. That actually got me into it as well, because I've just done a talk at a Parafest, and that's what got me into it. Most Haunted in 2002, and it was just strange at the time, wasn't it?
I hate admitting that, but you've got to admit it.
Yeah.
So
I'm pretty sure a lot of us did get into it because of that, because it showed you a way that you could actually hunt ghosts, or whatever terminology it is.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then the first series, they got all the orbs everywhere.
I don't do orbs.
No, I don't do orbs.
I had a heated discussion about orbs every time.
Yeah, you just get it all over social media about this photo glitch, don't you? And it's an orb, and then if you don't agree with it, you're not a believer and all that. So, yeah, all good.
Somebody was sending a picture of a tree and go, look, what do you see? And I'm like, I see a tree.
Yeah.
Oh, but look at this face. I'm like, no, I see a tree. Sorry, but I'm bad for that.
It is exactly the same way as I think, and it tends to upset people as well. But hey, yeah, that's life, isn't it? We can't always think that everything is paranormal. But yeah. So a quick shout out to Nadine, Yvonne Dickinson, CJ Simmons, Carla Walker, Carol May, Robbie Crosnan, Rosemary Savage, Nancy Zell, Carl Hodgson. Hi everyone, hope you're okay. If you've got any questions for Stephen, if you ask him, just add it to the live. My phone's also glitched as well, so we're having fun at the moment. I'm Andy Byrne. So when you decided to sort of go out looking for ghosts, or what did you do specifically?
It was all kind of centred around I was 18 or 19, and I went on a tour to Edinburgh Vaults. It was the Blair Street Vaults, and I remember feeling very uneasy in one of the rooms, and I wanted out. I got this very strong smell of whiskey, and it felt like somebody was pressing against my throat. It was a weird feeling, as if I couldn't breathe. So I asked to leave. I was right at the back of the room. I just said to the tour guide, I said, I need to leave. I want out of here. So she let me out of the room. And then after it, when I was talking to the tour guide, she says that was the infamous Mr. Boots room. So after that, it was quite terrifying. I wasn't sure. So the paranormal, it must have been about probably another 12 years before I picked up the courage to go for it. I think I was about 30 when I got into it. I just all went for there. And ironically, the first event I ever went to was Blair Street Vaults.
Wow.
So I overcame my fear by going into that room and challenging this spirit, which I believe affected me years before. So ever since then, I went a bit. The first few years, I went a bit kind of over the score with the paranormal. It was like every waking moment. It was like 24/7 ghosts, paranormal. It kind of took over my life quite a bit. So
yeah, it tends to, doesn't it? It just kind of sneaks up on you. It really does. Or if you're not going on an investigation, you're planning one, aren't you? Or more.
You drive by a building and go, "Oh, that looks haunted." Next thing you know, you stop.
Yeah.
It's like, I remember going on family holidays to Haggerson Castle, and it's like, oh, you know what? There's a haunted castle on over here. We're going there, and then it was taking a drive to like Chillingham Castle to go on a tour, and it's like you leave the family sitting outside in the car while you're away in touring this castle, and it's like you feel it's like we're on a holiday, and I'm looking at ghost places, so it's.
Yeah, it's also the reaction you have when you're into this as well. Because I was out at the weekend, and somebody said, "Oh, someone died there," and you go, "Cool." And it's actually the wrong sort of reaction, isn't it? But if you're into paranormal, it's like, "Oh, okay, let's see if he wants to talk to us," which is a bit bad, really.
Well, somebody would tell me, I went in here and I get this really hard paranormal scare, and I'm like, "Oh, good. How scary was it?" "Oh, I was actually terrified." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I'm not interested." How scary was it? I'm not interested if you're okay, but how scary was it? So it's quite funny.
Yeah. So I've got a question from Kelly then. What do you use predominantly on an investigation?
Being somebody that threw a lot of money into the paranormal to start with, had about £1,200 worth of stuff, equipment. Did not use half of it, or even. So I've narrowed it down to what I have left is a PSB7 and a voice recorder, and that's pretty much it. That's all I use. I don't use anything else. The occasional REM pod, but I stick to the ITC side of it.
Yeah, that's it. You can get interesting results. I don't think the SB7 works with me. I keep trying it, but I'm not getting anything at the moment. I don't know what's going on.
The best bit of evidence I've ever caught in my life, I've ever witnessed through a PSB7 in a castle local to me. So I've always kind of stuck with the 7. I know a lot of people like the 11 because you can sweep both ways at 2 channels at the same time, but I could never get into the PSB11. It was always a 7 I used.
Yeah, I sort of asked around, and a lot of people sort of said the 7. So I thought, all right, I'll go for that. I've just invested in the S box, which is probably very similar, but I thought I'd give that a go as well. So here I am buying loads of kit, and I'm duplicating it really.
I'm interested in one of the cultist boxes. I'm interested in trying out one of them. So
yeah.
Well. Sorry, I think this is frozen.
Yeah. Do you think you're going to go for one then?
Probably, yeah. Once I get the money. For the few months of being unemployed with not very good jobs, so I've started a new job recently. So once I start getting some money behind me, I'll maybe buy a few other things.
Yeah, you can sort of get going again, can't you? Yeah. Got Gary Bradfield here. I was with him on Saturday for the Parafest, which is an epic weekend, Gary says. We've got Nancy then. And Nancy said, have you ever been possessed or jumped by a spirit? So I guess we could sort of say overshadowed here, or, where they've got too close or something.
It depends if you believe in that side of things. I have had a few experiences where I don't know what to make of it, to be honest. But I've had two separate times where it's no. One was like, I don't know if it was possessed, but the other one was an attachment. So I'm told. Okay. But the whole kind of possession side was Gilmerton Cove in Edinburgh. There was about 20 minutes. I don't remember a thing. I remember being in one of the main rooms, I don't know if you know Gilmerton Cove or if you've heard of it. It's
No.
basically it's a cave system that was built under somebody's house. Now, the official story was it was built by a blacksmith. Now, it wasn't. There's no way. The first thing you'll notice when you go in is the pit marks on the wall. It was used by a primitive tool. The time period that the tour guide tells you, I actually asked her, I says, there's no way this was built in the time period you're saying. And she actually came and said to me after, she goes, you're the first person that's came and said that to me for the longest time. She goes, she agreed with my kind of point of view. But it's like you get in these caves and it's like all these different caverns. It's all connected. And in one of them, it's like an altar with a bowl. Now, sitting in there, and what we were told was the spirits don't like you sitting your feet on this bowl because it's disrespectful. So I sat on my feet on the bowl. And I was like, well, if you want me to move, you need to do something. You need to react. You need to scare me. You need to do something to make me move. Now, this is all on camera. And I sat like in the space for like ages. Yeah. And somebody asked, like, who's the name of the spirit who's there? And I actually whispered to her, they're watching. No, I don't remember this. I don't remember a word. And then the next thing I remember was I was out in the street. Now, the last thing I remember was sitting my feet on this altar going, you want me to move? Yeah. Bring it. And then the next thing you know, I was out in the street. Actually, that was when I remember being on the street and I was feeling sick. It felt like I was going to vomit. And it was actually on video camera that I've lost like 20 minutes of following that event, memories started coming back to me as if I was in there, was sitting.
Oh my gosh.
But it was like as if it was an out of body experience, but I was remembering what was happening. So what I was told, it was called a paranormal relapse. Somebody told me. So basically, what they reckon was I was taken over, but started remembering after it. Now I don't know if it's people might believe it. I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. All I can say is there's about 20 minutes of my life that I've got a blank. I don't remember.
Well, it's like you've gone into trance in some degree.
Possibly. That was
potentially what it could be. Because when I've been affected, then I'm aware. But I've been I've done a few where people sort of are unaware, and you take them outside, and it's taken a while to sort of bring them round.
Well, I don't really remember. The girl whose event it was didn't even have a clue of it. She was panicking. She's like, what the fuck? It's like, it was strange. It was strange. But it was actually witnessed by about 6 or 7 people at the time that you can hear them on the camera. I would need to find the I'm sure my mate's got the camera footage still. I'd have to go and ask him. But the footage is weird because I don't look as if I'm myself. You can see what my eyes. It's very. It was surreal. Put it away, it was surreal. But when I went back into there, something was putting images in my head, and I remember it was strange because you could see somebody getting strangled. And I actually went outside after it as well and phoned to make sure my daughter was okay because I get this horrible vibe that it was my daughter. So I had to actually phone and ask how my daughter was. It was strange, and that's where I kind of started going. Maybe challenging spirits isn't the right way to do this.
Yeah.
Because you watch like Ghost Adventures and you see Zach Bagans. He was a big, you want to do something, do it. And you think it's a great idea at the time, but it wasn't really. Which brings me on to my next one. I actually had a negative attachment for quite a while. Probably about 3 years. I had this. And it was all to do with a house that we went to, or were going to, that was to do with demon worship. So it was a demon worship house. And I went to an event that was quite flat. And then things started kicking off. One of the mediums actually said to me, she says, stay away from me. She says, you stay away from me. You've been doing something you shouldn't be doing. I'm like, I remember thinking, going, jog on. But she elaborated on it, that there was, in this location there was a spirit of a child, but they were terrified of something that wasn't me, but it was something that was behind me. And I'm like, so after I didn't think anything of it. And then each event I went to get worse and worse and worse. And it got to a point where I could be standing in a shower, getting showered, and I felt like somebody was standing behind me. So I actually went to a spiritualist church in my hometown, and they looked into it all for me, and they reckoned that I had a negative attachment that I'd had for a while. And they went through all this stuff with me, and it was actually Gary Fields that helped me fix it in the end up.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, I know Gary. He investigated with them at HAPRC a year ago today, Virtue, so yeah.
Gary's brilliant. It's actually him that helped me.
Oh, that's fantastic, yeah. It's hard to recognise if you've got an attachment as well, though, isn't it?
But again, it's going back to the whole way I used to do the investigating, which was a bit extreme. I actually enjoyed it. See, like, so when I had the house to myself, the spirit box was out, and the voices were out, and I was picking at it. You know, I was antagonising, and I was trying to get a reaction, because what I was always told was, if you've got a negative reaction, show no fear. So I tried to show no fear in the back, and that took my mental health took a mega dip. That affected my mental health quite badly. But again, could it be I just had a mental health problem and that's what was the cause of it, or was it an actual attack? I don't know.
That's it, and that's some of the questions we never really know. You try and work out the answers to things, don't you?
Well, I kind of used it as a tool to research. This is the thing, I was told it would always be with me in some form. So I don't know what that means, but it's I used it as a way to research the paranormal. That's how I got to know what devices work best for me and EPs and stuff. So it was only when somebody passed a message on that it wasn't just going to affect me, it would affect my kids in the end up. So that's why I decided to get help and stop it. So I had to take a break for the paranormal for a year, just to take some time out and build my strength back up, and then I come back into the fold. You get the occasional message as if you get a feeling as if it's still there, but that was about 3 years ago as well, so I've kind of left it at that. I've not really bothered much since.
Oh wow!
So, but if people are investigations of me and they notice me going a bit weird, it's usually I get that wee feeling and I'll just walk away. I'll take the situation, I'll walk away, calm down, get a clear in my head, then come back. That's so.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, as an attachment, I have no idea. Was it just mental health? I don't know. I'm skeptical. I'm on the fence about it all. So it was strange.
Yeah, it is strange because I really think I've had attachments because I've just felt really drained, and it's okay feeling tired on a day-to-day basis, but then by the 4th week you think, well, why am I still tired? And like, if you rule out the medical side, then what's caused it? And then you remember when it first started, where you were and what happened. And then I did a Zoom call and somebody spotted him behind me and described what he looked like, and that's what I picked up at this location. So yeah.
Well, actually, at the point went through, my father ended up with MS, and they actually thought I had some sort of neurological issue as well. And I went through all the tests for that, and I went for brain scans, there was CT scans, there was what was the other one? What's the one? I ended up had to get that because I couldn't do the. What's the one you get? You get the mirrors and you go in the big thing. It sounds like a rivet gun's going off. I can't remember the name of it. Had a total mind blank there, but I couldn't do that. I just said, you know what, just do the wonder puncture. That says you get it by me. So I went through some health issues stemming for that as well, I believe. So, but I think it was all. It's hard for me. If somebody doesn't believe on possession or attachments or demons or anything like that, I couldn't change their mind. I just know it was in there. I know it was in there, but at the time I wasn't strong. But was it that was making me strong, or was it actual mental health problems? I don't know. But I've come out the other side of it better. So
that's brilliant. It's like a lesson, then, isn't it? When we're in
an MRI scan. That's it. That was it. Yeah, I couldn't do that.
Right. I get them all mixed up. No, I think I'd freak out.
So.
Yeah. But yeah, there's so many things happen spiritually, and you just don't know, do you? You try and work out questions, you try and work out what's going on, you try and work out what's behind it, and it's just so difficult. We've got Debbie Rushworth watching, hiya. Nigel Porter, hi. Tracy Goff. Cheryl Jones. Nancy says, thanks for mentioning the experiences. So, got this one then from Robbie. The castle Steve went to last time got amazing evidence on the PS7. What was that then? Which castle?
I've been to a few castles. What one do you mean, Robbie?
Okay, we'll go on this then. Wait for the delay then. But we've got Cheryl Jones here. So, have you got a favourite place that you have investigated?
Yes. It's going to surprise a few people because I think a lot of people would expect me to say Gilmerton Cove or Edinburgh Vaults, but it's not. It's Lennox Castle.
Right.
It was an asylum. And I'm going to pardon the pun here, but that place is insane.
Wow.
I've been to this place about 6 times. I was actually there at the weekend doing a private tour, and I was telling who I was with about the experiences that I had, and I always remember the first time we went, it was pitch black at night. You could not see a metre in front of your face. And the way that the castle was designed, it's like there's a big tower, and there's a courtyard, and the way that the castle's built around about the courtyard, so it's inside. But that's where the people, the patients that were there would only see, that would be only daylight or air, fresh air they would get, because they were clinically insane. Now, this place at night time is nuts, because you're standing in that courtyard and you can actually feel or hear things running around about you.
Oh gosh!
And I remember the initial group I went there with, we were all looking at each other going, "What the was that?" And I remember the girls getting quite kind of, "Oh, we don't know about that." And I remember running into this bit where you could hear this noise, and it's like they were going that way and I was running this way, and it's like, that's the kind of maniac I am. I'll run into the paranormal stuff rather than I don't fear it anymore. Yeah. After the first few events, the fear goes, and this place was crazy. You get your voices, you got you could see your voice recorder. You could actually put a voice recorder on record and just sit it, ask no questions. You could record up to 5 minutes of audio, and you'll hear screams and shouts and moans in the background, and there's nothing. You can't hear anything with your own ears. It's all recorded on the voice recorder. It's strange. It's so silly. It's so that's probably my favourite place.
That sounds fantastic. I think I want that place. Is it? Yeah.
When you're up in Scotland, give me a shout and I will show you.
Yeah, I'm coming up this year. Hopefully, because things are ever changing, aren't they, on that front? But hey, we'll see.
It's quite an impressive place. The minute you go into it, I don't feel anything. I use the joke every time. I'm no psychic. I've not got any mediumship qualities. I'm a sensitive brick. But when you're standing in this courtyard, you can't help but feel.
That's cool.
You feel kind of you feel the atmosphere.
Yeah.
And you start imagining what it would have been like. Because see when you're walking down to the castle, the way it is, it's all these kind of trees, and it's down this wee corridor, the back road, and you're like, you can just imagine these poor people getting transit down here to this castle, because all you see is the castle in the distance, and it's like it's quite a you feel something about the place, and it's just an uneasy feeling.
Yeah, it must have been horrific.
It's really good.
Oh wow, yeah. A lot of people say about asylums, don't they? I've never actually been to one yet. I've been to a prison. That was mad. But yeah,
it's the only asylum I've been to, but it's really good.
Wow. So Robbie, do any of you guys get paranormal hangover a day or two after an invest? when it happens, he's drained and head hurts like hell.
I'm constantly tired anyway, but I always feel tired for a few days after it. But I don't know whether
Yeah,
it's just you get the adrenaline rush, you get the adrenaline pumping when you're in somewhere dark and it's allegedly haunted. So I think a lot of the paranormal hangover comes through the adrenaline rush you get. Then when I come down, you feel really like,
yeah. I find that if there's more activity, it's more likely to happen as well. If you've got a flat night, you're fine. But if you've had a really crazy night, then I can actually be sick as well as a headache. And I can, it is a hangover about the alcohol, 100%. And oh my gosh. And you're trying to explain to people, you've had a drink. No, you can't explain that you can get it through just
it's the
doing what
buzz
you
you
do.
get from it. It's just the buzz you get from it. It's you go for like an extreme high to an extreme low quite quick, and I think that's what takes toll on you.
Yeah, you're trying to eat sugar all night because there's usually some snacks about, aren't there? Cakes, sweets, whatever. Yeah.
Chocolate.
So I've got CJ Simmons then. What's the worst place that you've investigated?
In terms of extreme hauntings or experiences, is probably Gilmerton Cove or Lennox Castle. But Gilmerton Cove was a kind of terrifying, but I mean, I'd so many means like the scariest place, which would probably be Gilmerton Cove. Aye, Gilmerton Cove, because there's so much mystery surrounding it. There's no, I mean, you go on the tour, they're telling you this place this blacksmith built this in the 1700s. No, it didn't. This is older than that.
Wow.
Now, they reckon it dates away back to your Knights Templar, who was run about the Roslin area of Edinburgh. They were quite prominent run about that area because you've got Craigmillar Castle, you've got Hales Castle, you've got Roslin Chapel, you've got Roslin Castle, Gilmerton Cove. Now, they reckon they're all connected some way.
Intriguing.
So it shows you how it's a very, very old place. And I mean, I remember somebody took a picture one of the times. I mean, I've investigated Gilmerton Cove probably about 15 times. And I remember getting a picture taken. You can see me standing like that, and it's like there's shadows running about you. But it's the unknown. You don't know the origins of them, so there's all these stories and everything's just built up, and it is scary, I suppose. It is. But the worst part, for activity wise, the worst place I've been was Gilmerton, because I had that period of time where I blacked out and I don't remember.
Yeah.
So I'll go with that one.
Yeah, it's crazy when something happens, which you just can't get your head around it for years, can you? When something happens, it's just a mystery, and you try and get an explanation, and it's so hard. I've got a question here from Dr. Cal Cooper. Thanks for joining us. You guys should check out parapsychology has explored these experiences against other areas of healthcare, other areas that weren't sure what to do with people who report this, even just to support their well-being.
Yeah. That's probably something I'll look at. I'll be looking into that. Thanks.
Yeah, because you don't know where it's sort of the health issue or the other. Come to me if you want some explanations. Yeah, I think so.
I'll give you a shout then, mate, after this.
Yeah, thanks for that. Thank you, because you just need some sort of rational explanation, and it's just difficult, isn't it? Sometimes.
I sometimes feel that after an event, it's quite hard to piece together like what actually happened in them. Like I said, Bannockburn House, investigated there, and I mean, you get experiences you can hear, but try to explain into your head stuff that you were experiencing, and then when you leave, you start questioning, did that actually happen?
Yeah.
Because I mean, most of it happens off camera. You don't have any. You don't have any evidence, so you're going to tell people these stories. It's like, I was sitting in a bed which would have been used by Bonnie Prince Charlie, and I experienced if somebody was sitting beside me in the bed. Yeah. So you have to think, it's like, how do I explain that to somebody without sounding like I'm batshit crazy?
Yeah,
Now, it's easy enough to explain it to somebody that's into the paranormal, but see explaining to somebody that's not, they just laugh and go, aye, whatever. And I always find trying to piece together events on a paranormal event afterwards, it's quite hard to interpret. I kind of struggle
yeah,
sometimes to try and work out what went on and what didn't go on. What was your
yeah.
imagination? Wasn't
You do really try, don't you? I did a talk on Saturday for EAPI, and basically I mentioned an encounter I had with spirit, and four people were getting like, yeah, yeah, and right at the end they'd actually had the same encounter, the same person, and it's just fantastic to get the validation, and that's why you put your information out there, don't you? You put your findings out there.
very much.
Yeah, that's it. And a lot of people don't, but I like to put them out so that if somebody reads it and go, yeah, I got this person come through. If I get a strange name, I'll just say it. You know, I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but if somebody else says they have, then it's a bit of validation, isn't it? It's so great.
See, one of the worst things I've seen, and I'm probably going to get there'll be a few negative comments when I explain this story, because it's probably one of the most stupidest, dumbass things that I've ever been involved in the paranormal. But I don't believe I'm not a big believer in Ouija boards.
Right,
I've
okay.
never had them work when I'm touching the glass. So what I said was I was at an event one night, and I says, right, I'll observe what's happening, and I think we should try and challenge what we're experiencing.
Yeah,
We were told there was 5 hours. We were told it's demonic, it's nasty, and it's not nice.
right.
Well, we decided to bold as brass. I observed from a distance, looking in,
Mm-hmm.
and we called out what we believed to be was something demonic on the Ouija board. And I asked the questions while the guys were on the board,
Right,
and the
okay.
atmosphere of the place changed.
Yeah.
Now, this room went from being insanely hot to freezing cold.
Wow.
Now, it felt as if the atmosphere just smelled like that to you. It was like a powder keg, as if something was just
Wow.
waiting to kick off. And we used that it was a kind of like what not to do in a paranormal night, to be fair.
Yeah.
And every single person that went away for that night experienced something afterwards, and that was
Oh
hard to
dear.
explain. Like a
Yeah.
personal experience that was something that was negative, and we realised at that point we probably pushed the boundaries maybe a bit too far that night.
Yeah.
So there was, I'll probably get a lot of hate for doing that, but we did call a demon out for a Ouija board.
Right. Okay.
It was just the name of research, just out of
Well,
curiosity.
that's right. You do want to find things out, and you do sort of have these ideas and want to try them, and yeah.
Well,
So it,
that was what was brought on the negative attachment afterwards for me.
right. Okay.
Because we played Russian roulette. In my view, we played Russian roulette with something we shouldn't have done. Now,
Right.
there was, I think, if I don't really speak to many people that was still involved in that, other than
Yeah.
one other person, and we all experienced negativity in our life after that. So
Oh wow.
it did stick for a long, long time. So it's wasn't the smartest of moves. So it's a kind of warning in the paranormal that if you don't know what you're dealing with, be careful, because
That's right.
it can affect others close to you and you and your mood. But again, I mean, it goes back to the old saying of what Cal Cooper was saying there, that it could be psychological. I don't know.
Yeah. That's it. You just don't know, do you? And you just try and do reasoning all the time. And a lot of paranormal as well is like probability. That if you ask for a tap and you get one, you think, well, is it a radiator? You ask all the questions. You ask for another one and then think, well, if this is happening, what's the probability of that radiator making that noise at that time? That's a specific, and you just question everything, don't you?
The way I view the paranormal now is if you go and you experience something that is personal to you, so you've experienced the paranormal. Now, somebody could be standing beside you going, bullshit, don't believe it.
Yeah.
It's up to them. You've taken something away that's your personal experience. Like, so when I go to an event, I'll take something away that's my personal experience that I witness.
That's right.
So I kind of look at it as a personal thing now. I don't. You see all these people over Facebook, it's one, and this is not me being bitchy or having a go at anybody. I'm not name dropping, but people are more interested in likes and shares and stuff.
I can't be bothered
I've
with
got
that.
no interest in that. What my kind of theory is, if I bring my paranormal live feeds to anybody, they're experiencing their own. They're experiencing their own experience at that point.
Yeah.
I'm bringing it to them, or if they come with me, or me, I'm experiencing that in myself, and I'm trying to share it with others.
Yeah.
But again, at the end of the day, if people don't believe what you're saying, it's still my experience, and I'm still gaining from it. You know what I mean? That's my kind of paranormal journey. Is I've not got an ego, despite what certain people will tell you.
No, don't worry. Yeah,
I don't. I just want to go and I want to be an honest investigator, and that's what and I think that's why people seem to like when I do a live feed, because if I don't get any evidence, I don't get it.
Yeah,
You're not going to get once activity. You're not going to get activity every time you leave the house. It's going to be gradual. It's going to be once in a blue moon. So when you get that once in a blue moon moment, it's personal to you, and you take it away with you.
Yeah,
That's my philosophy. So it's. But
I tend to do more walk rounds than anything, because the minute you get a camera out, if there was activity, it stops. You know, and you just want to get personal evidence, don't you? And if you can get something.
I spent half an investigation on the wind up or on taking that's having horseplay and just joking about us. I kind of it's a socialising thing as well.
Yeah, it is, definitely. And then when I go to HAPRC, I end up chatting for ages, just because you're with friends, aren't you? You know, or it's people. Sometimes I meet up with people who I've met on Facebook, and just to meet people, you know, after been chatting to them for so long, it's just. But then that builds the energy up as well, doesn't it?
See, I can remember doing a charity event, and it was this old hotel that's close to me, and it only took about 15 people. And I see this hotel, I could have taken about 50 people there, and you would still offer room to them. And it was very flat. It was you could tell it was places you know when you go places it's never been done like before. The places can't be flat, and it could take a few visits to bring on activity. So I go to a point, I said I'm bored here, so I ended up just jumping out on people. So they were walking down the corridor, and I was getting me jumping out going, rah! You could hear the other side was screaming. It's like, yeah. That kid's was running down a corner. I get to a point where if it's flat and it gets boring, I just try to get people. I
don't know. We've got a quick hello then to Noreen Hill, Sarah Edwards, Caroline May Sambrooks, Nancy thinks she's sort of brave from earlier when you sort of had all the issues and everything. Cheryl Jones wants to go to the castle.
I don't think it was brave. I think it was more stupidity. Now, that's a point. That's a good job he's making. Loudon Kirk is where we are actually investigating on Wednesday.
Okay, yeah.
For people that don't know, I've jumped in and out of paranormal teams in the past. Always kind of ended up on my own, doing solo stuff, because in the past there's been all the team issues, a lot of infighting. So I've joined Robbie's team, which is Haunted Scotland, You're Not Alone, or We're Not Alone. I can't remember the actual phrase after it. But I'm investigating with Robbie for the first time on Wednesday, and I'm looking forward to it. And we're actually going to Loudon Kirk, which is, again, it's about 10 minutes from 5 minutes from my house. And it's an amazing place. It's one of the oldest kirkyards in this area. And it was believed at one point that when you go way back 700 years ago, Loudon Hill, where Robert the Bruce's first battle against the English, and he won, was there, and that's where he camped. I believe he camped at Loudon Kirk. So it's amazing. I do believe that I've experienced the ghost of a soldier that was part of his army for the spirit box there, because you get it quite a few times when you're there. It's really good. So I'm looking forward to that.
Brilliant. Yeah, I've been to battlefields before. You can get some amazing energy from them. because
I'm
you know
desperate to
so
do.
much happened, didn't they?
I would like to do Bannockburn Fields and Culloden Fields.
Yeah,
So that's.
I'm
I,
wondering about heading up there.
the majority of my paranormal experience I've been is Scotland. I've only been to one place in England, and that was Morecambe Winter Gardens. I've not been.
Oh
I've not.
right, okay.
All the rest of the events I've went to is all in Scotland. So I'm looking forward to branching into going to places in England where
That's
I know
cool.
Robbie's got some good plans. Of Tracy Goff, Kelly, CJ. I'm looking at expanding into England to investigate with other people. Carla Walker of Cambridge Paranormal Society. I'm looking forward to just going out and experiencing different teams now and different
That's brilliant.
locations. And
Yeah,
I'm wanting to branch off a wee bit and go to different places. So
yeah. That's it. I tend to investigate the same places because you still get different things coming through. But it is nice to get like different environments, but specifically meeting different people, isn't it?
pretty much.
And
See, I've always
Facebook's been
been.
amazing for that.
Well, you look at my Facebook page. I've people probably will laugh at this because I talk to anybody that messages me about a paranormal experience. I'll talk to, but I've got a very very small circle of people that are friends. I don't really trust people very. I mean, I'm a very small circle of people. But
Yeah,
the paranormal people I've met in the past, funnily enough, it all started off by going on to dead ends.
yeah,
Uh, and if I went on to dead ends, everything seems to have went boom. And I mean, I'm
yeah.
now boarding for Kelly and CJ, and we're all close knit. And it's amazing. The past for about March or April this year, maybe it's the paranormal. When I've come back to Facebook, it's just boy. It's just
Yeah.
it's people are coming and saying, and it's not even about ego or that. It's people who come and say to me. I mean, I'll not openly tell or out what anybody tells me, but I mean, I've had people message me and saying like, "You've gave people a voice. You investigate honestly and openly. Well done,
That's right.
really." And I mean, it's not. I'm not. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm not interested in ego or praise. I'm just looking for people just like me that are honest, open, and just investigate without all
Yeah,
the bullshit.
that's
And
right.
that's what I'm looking for.
That's brilliant. Obviously, like I encountered you through dead ends, but you're also a good friend of Lois Haddo as well, aren't you? So
I,
she's actually going along.
yeah,
Unfortunately, she's working, so she can't send you some ropey questions.
thank
I'm
God.
sure she would do.
Well, me and Louise are friends for quite a while. We met through the PlayStation. So I'm probably a royal pain in the ass because when I talk about winding up my horseplay, she's one of the victims. So it's I love
That's
winding
cool.
her up. I keep doing it to get a reaction, and she bites every time. It's funny, but no,
That's
Louise is
brilliant.
lovely. I've got a
Yeah,
lot of time for Louise. She's a good friend.
definitely. Yeah, I want to go up and see her in Scotland when I go, so that's going to be cool. Kelly, Kelly says you certainly live in a stunning country. Yeah, it's full of wonder. And what's your favourite place in the UK?
Edinburgh,
Right, okay.
specifically the Royal Mile, because see when you look at the amount of hatred that is in the world. Um, I always use this as an example, and I've said this a few times lately. See when you go to the Royal Mile in Edinburgh, there's a place, St Giles Cathedral. Now, see if you sit outside there and just people watch. Spend it if you're ever in Edinburgh, spend an hour just sitting watching. You've got so many
Right.
different colours, races, religions,
Mm,
backgrounds.
yeah,
There's no malice in anybody. Nobody
yeah,
is just everybody just walking by. There's so many different cultures, and there's no
brilliant.
malice. There's no hatred. It's nice to sit and watch.
Yeah,
See in a world that revolves around hatred and scandal, sit in the Royal Mile at Edinburgh and just people watch for an hour, and you'll
yeah,
see it. It's just it's nice.
yeah. So that's what I do a lot on the continent, isn't it? We've got the coffee shops outside or the restaurants, and you just sit there and just
Just
watch the
people
world
watch.
go by. It's just lovely, you know. It's you get intrigued about the people who go by as well, don't you? Going about the day-to-day lives and Yeah, it's
Well,
cool.
you look at it. I mean, it's not really in the past kind of few years. You've had the Black Lives Movement. You've had the women's rights kind of protests and stuff. And see, when you look at all that in the world, you go, "What the hell is actually happening?" But see, when you go and sit somewhere like the Royal Mile or like
Yeah,
Barcelona or Paris and just watch people going
that's
by, like, there isn't any hatred. There's just it's nice to see everybody getting along, saying hello, and it's one of the worlds that it's the places you can go and it's nice. Plus the
yeah,
fact being that it's one of the most historic places you'll ever go. You've got Greyfriars Graveyard, you've got Edinburgh Castle, you've got the vaults. So many different places you can go as well. Just Edinburgh's like my favourite place ever. And if I could
wow,
move there and stay there, I would tomorrow.
it's brilliant. Yeah, it's one for my list. I meant to go, but lockdown came and it just, yeah, like everything else, it just stopped it, didn't it? So I've got Carl Hodgson. He had a ghost night at the North Eastern Hotel in Fleetwood. In the cellar, 5 of us. My EVP next to a Ouija board on the table centre of the walkway. One woman asked, "Is that you who touched my arm?" We heard nothing, but the EVP played back 2 bangs from this table. That's cool. Yeah.
So that, I mean,
EVPs are brilliant for catching things. But,
EVPs are good.
but the only thing is about an EVP, if you leave it somewhere, ideally you need a locked off camera with it.
Yeah, definitely.
Just to prove that somebody's not like opened, to just rule out everything really.
We've all probably done that in a paranormal event. See if I've left a voice recorder sitting, you'll go up and go, hey, yeah. Just something funny just to wind each other up. But no, it's especially when you look at the Panasonic or the DR60s. I mean, you look at
Gosh, I like
now. See,
them.
to buy one of these now, you're talking about a grand, right? Now, see, at the time it was like
Yeah,
probably 20 quid in the 60s and 70s whenever it was made.
yeah.
Now they actually took them off the shelves because people went back to Panasonic and were moaning that I can hear voices in this. It's not actually there.
Yeah, I know.
I'm desperate to buy one of these, but I'm not going to spend £800 on one. Not a chance. But I mean, it just shows you that you could spend like I did. I mean, I know the SLS is a taboo subject. Right
Yeah,
now, I looked at buying one because it was see when I did events, public events, a lot of people ask you, "Oh, Ouija board or SLS." So
yeah,
I like to get one just to keep people happy because if people were happy at an event I was hosting, that's all I was looking for. Just I was looking for them to experience something that was personal to them.
that's right.
If
Yeah,
they believe it, then so be it. So what I decided to do was I was going to build my own. So I built my own SLS camera. Now we're actually at an event. What was it called again? It was a museum close to me, the Maritime Museum in Irvine. Now
okay.
there was a girl, Caitlin. Now I was laughing because I had the SLS pointing towards her. And you can actually see this wee figure above her going up her head.
All right, okay.
Now, she didn't know what was happening. I just sat
Yeah.
silent. And then all of a sudden she comes and she goes, I can feel my hair getting touched.
Oh, that's awesome.
Now, people tell you the SLS is, I mean, it's a research tool, it's not credible evidence. But
I
she was experiencing something touching her hair when I was
Yeah,
standing on it, and you could see something behind her going like that to her head. So to
yeah,
me, that was credible. So that was a
that's
personal
right.
experience, which that's what I try and go for.
Yeah, that's right. You just got to question everything. And if you're happy in your own mind that, you can't explain it, I've had some good experience with an SLS as well. It's a long story, but, it's credible. It's a person's reaction and then my reaction as well while somebody was filming it. So, yeah, you can, and it's like any equipment. Nothing's specifically for ghost hunting.
But there's no experts. Everything's experimental.
That's right.
We've all got our
So
own way of
it's just,
investigating. Because
yeah.
I'm the world's worst. See when somebody brings a set of light up cat balls, I roll my eyes, but it works for them. You know what
I
I
get
mean?
on well with cat balls. That's my thing.
It's the
It's
same.
strange.
It works for some. You know what? If
Yeah,
you believe in that you take away something personal for that, that's okay. There's no experts. That's what bugs me. You get people that I'll come out with this. Oh, that's. I don't like the how you. That's not how you investigate. And it's like, you know what? Each of us have got our own way of investigating. I don't like mobile phone apps, but loads of people use them.
Yeah.
But
I've actually got EVP on a mobile phone. I'm videoing it.
brilliant.
That's at Derby Jail. So Carl, each paranormal night tries to eliminate as much as possible. Then you live with what it is. And that's it. I once got a photo and it had like something in it, right alongside someone's head. And I couldn't explain it. But luckily, I'd got a 3-second thing on my phone. So you could see 3 seconds. And you could actually see someone's hand going. But a photo alone didn't, you thought, oh, have I captured something? But then you saw the 3 seconds and it showed you. So it's handy to have a video as well. We've got Von Hunter then. I agree with what you self-experience. It's your experience of personal to you. And you wouldn't be untrue to yourself. You might not have an explanation, but still your own experience, Jenny. Which, yeah.
A lot of what I do, it's experimental research. That's the way I take it, is experimental research.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to prove. See, if somebody doesn't believe in ghosts, you're not going to change their mind with nobody in the world. Like I said, there is no experts in the paranormal. Doesn't matter what devices you use. If somebody doesn't believe, you're never going to change their mind.
That's right.
It's all experimental. There is. I mean, this is what bugs me. You get people that call themselves masters in this. They're a Reiki master, they're a paranormal master, they're an EVP master. And it's like, nobody's a master of anything. It's all experimental. Nobody can prove that it's real or wrong.
Yeah, that's right.
It's not personal. I mean, the best thing that you can use when you go to an event is, see, when you go out with your arm and the hairs in the back of your neck stands on end.
Yeah.
To me, that's the best bit, the best feeling the way you know, because your own body reacts to something that's not there.
That's right.
Your body is the number one tool that you can use in ghost hunting.
Yeah. It is all intriguing. I don't even bother now. If people say they don't believe, then yeah, okay. It's up to them. They're missing out. There you go. Steve could listen. Leslie can listen to you. Yeah. So that's you're from Ayrshire then?
Yeah, I'm from Ayrshire.
Yeah. So, yeah, you'll have to go to Ayrshire, Leslie. Yeah. That's put me off now.
I don't know what to say when I get things like that. I don't know. I go kind of.
That's cool. It's a compliment.
I'm never sure how to react to the scenarios like that.
Oh, bless you.
Thank you, Leslie.
Oh. So you're on a live event on Wednesday night if you want to listen to more. So yeah. So I'll share that anyway, and yeah, we'll catch that one. So you're going live. It sounds a brilliant event because there's quite a lot going. Robbie, all team are equal, even take the lead in investigations. We'll take turns on assisting. That's good. Yeah.
I spoke to Robbie because I was asking him about how we had a good video chat together. Because I was asking him kind of what kind of way he does his events, and basically even though Robbie's the lead investigator, what you can call it.
Right.
He's the lead investigator, and obviously he's the boss of the team, and what he says goes. The way that Robbie does it is we're each going to get the lead an experiment, and we lead that experiment when everybody else kind of joins in, because it's we do our own spin on it, and it sounds. I like the sound of the way he investigates. So I'm looking forward to it. High hopes. So
that's cool. I've got Nancy as an empath. I'm spooked to go on a hunt. Yeah, because you're just going to pick up potentially the emotions, aren't you? So, I've walked in places and the energy's been that mad, I've had to walk out. I felt that dizzy. It's like, well, you've got to sort of walk out and regroup again. Yeah. So, Robbie sort of says, Robbie's also an empath. Use your ability more than the tech side. There's chat about Culloden as well. Robbie's tried to get it, but National Trust said no. It's a shame.
No, the Scottish National Trust can be.
We've got the same in the UK.
The English Heritage Trust.
We can't get near it. Yeah.
You get
Oh,
a...
Nancy says we're all brave. Oh.
There's a fine line between braveness and stupidity. So it's either one or the other. I don't consider myself brave, or I just consider myself honest and just game for
Yeah.
anything.
Oh, wow. Cal does the Royal Mile as well, then. Whiskey in hand. Just watching the world go by. Yeah. It's certainly on my list.
I can't drink whiskey anymore.
Can't you?
No, if I start drinking whiskey or rum, it ends up what I've seen out the Hangover films.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You throw somebody's phone the next day and look at the pictures and go, "Oh Jesus!" So I can't drink whiskey.
So, what was your favourite malt?
I like the Johnny Walker's Scotch stuff.
Oh, okay. I like Talisker. Yeah, been to a few.
It's been a long time for you. I've drank whiskey.
Yeah, just me as well.
It usually leads to chaos.
So, Dr. Cal Cooper, with EVP, you ideally need it within a soundproof box, like with the original studies. Yeah, that's it, because there is a lot of sound around. There's locations you go to where you can't even use an EVP because you just got too much sound, and you can't keep saying, "Oh, talking." You're just not going to capture anything, are you? Hi, Gemma. Thanks for watching.
Hi, Gemma.
So the whole idea of wandering around with an EVP is only ever done by Raymond Cass. The rest has been pushed by TV, sadly. So,
my point with that is, see, when you look at TV shows like Ghost Adventures, Most Haunted, I mean, a lot of these, they've actually got to put a disclaimer up now that it's for entertainment only. So that's the problem. People come to an event expecting it to be like that in total chaos when it's really not like that at all.
Yeah.
So you could go and have a 6-hour investigation and get one tiny little bit you can consider even remotely think about it as paranormal.
Yeah. I think like with the paid events, you have to do things like table tipping and stuff so people can experience something personal, because otherwise I'll get the odd flashing light. But as a research, it doesn't really offer as much, doesn't it? But for a first-time viewer, it sort of says that, well, there might be something there, as long as you rule out the obvious, mobile phones and Wi-Fi and things, interacting with things. But yeah,
that's one of my pet hates. There's a well-known celebrity ghost hunter came to Scotland once, and I investigated with him. He was walking about with a K2 meter going, "Oh, it's flashing." I'm like, "It's your phone, you fucking idiot." It's like, it's your phone. Yeah. And he's like, "Oh, look, oh, lights." And it's like, "No, it's a phone. Turn your phone off."
I've kind of found with the K2, the phone takes it like mid-marker and back. That's generally how that works. That's blatantly obvious when that's the K2
meter, you can sit and go out with your hands. And it'll go off.
That's right. Yeah, I've got an EDI as well, and that that can set off with things as well. You just got to know how it works and understand it, like any piece of kit, really. So we've got Sue O'Connor joined us. Thanks for that. Carla Walker's going to Edinburgh soon. We've actually slightly run out of time, so I'm just going through the comments. Tracy Goff. Oh, okay. So Robbie doesn't take anyone on the team who claims to be brave. You need to be nuts to come out with me. So sounds like you're in for a good night on Wednesday, one way or another. Won't be a calm one.
I've been known to be called having a few screws loose through my time. So
thanks. It's been a really interesting night, and we sort of ran out of time, which is a shame. Just a quick one. So kind of things don't happen just like that. I used to work in a haunted building. They come out when they want, which is right. Yeah. I've spent 2 days at a location. Like today, I was just walking around taking photos and didn't even try and communicate. Yeah, the other night I was getting information because because a lot of people were doing it, and you get into a right zone as well, don't you, to do it sometimes. I don't know if that's right, but yeah.
It's one of these things. I mean, you take the paranormal, you've got to be there in the moment. I mean, but
Yeah, that's
one
right.
last tiny little tale before we go, and this is
Yeah.
one of the most personal ones I've ever really told.
Oh wow, thanks.
I was in an old embroidery mill in Paisley, and there was believed to be the spirit of a wee girl, according to the medium, anyway. And I had been in this building a few times before with my daughter, like buying equipment. And I always remember you could hear this wee girl through this the EVP. She was looking for her dad, and the medium had said like she sees you as a father figure because she's seen you in this building with your daughter.
Oh right,
So I
okay.
remember feeling quite emotional at that.
Yeah.
I had a lump in my throat at that point because this was a child spirit that passed away in this embroidery mill, and
Oh right.
she was looking for her dad, and I think she kind of saw me as a father figure, and that was quite an emotional night. So
Oh bless you.
that was one of those ones that you had to be there in the moment to experience that.
Yeah.
Probably one of the most surreal experiences I've had as well. That was quite. I walked away for that event, kind of thinking, going, there was only three of us there, and I remember thinking, sitting in the car for about half an hour after it,
Oh
trying
bless you.
try to comprehend what I'd actually had seen or heard,
Oh
and I was like experienced. And I was like, that it was really heavy. So that was my whole kind of thing about the paranormal is you take away from it what you take away from it. Everything's is
yeah,
personal to you, and you just keep looking for answers in your own way.
that's right. Yeah. I took something personal from Derby Jail because I communicated with a person who actually killed two children, and you try not to make judgment, but then you find out about this person and more what happened, and in the end you think, oh my gosh, because this guy shouldn't even be in the position of looking after the children because he wasn't capable. And oh, it was so sad that he actually got hung, and
Yeah.
it did leave a lasting impression on me.
See, I've kind of
And
learned lately to not judge, because I'm not allowed to publicly say what my job is, but I've started a new job and I'm dealing with
right,
vulnerable people, and you can't judge somebody on what a perceived perception of them. So you've got to. I
that's
take.
right.
Well, I've kind of diversity and equality. You try not to judge anymore.
Yeah, that's
Sometimes
right.
you can't help it, but
Yeah, it is natural too, but when in paranormal, when you're talking, do get communication going. It can be sad, can't it, and everything. But okay, I just want to thank everyone for watching. I want to thank you for speaking to us. It's
thanks for
just been
inviting me on.
brilliant, and thanks for sharing all your experiences. Wish you luck on Wednesday, and have a fantastic time, and whatever you do onwards. But yeah,
Thank you.
can you mention your page, please, just for everybody? I have tagged it
Yeah,
onto the event anyway.
run a page called Paranormal and Urbexer, and that's where I kind of post all my solo stuff. I was, and I'm also now Haunted Scotland. You're Not Alone with Robbie Crossing. So
Right,
I'm
yeah.
going to be jumping between both, and you'll also see me on Dead Ends as well every occasionally when I get
Yeah.
Kelly
When you...
yeah, list on it. So
Oh, bless you. And thanks everybody who's watched, and thanks for everyone who's commented. Take care, everyone. Look after yourself. Okay, bye.
bye guys.